only after your beer. He's a bastard like that. Hello. Hello. Ahoy, hoy.
Ahoy, hoy. Woof, woof, woof.
He's Parker.
He's Straw.
And that's Artie.
It's not a weird, hairy cockface.
And that's Frankie down there.
And together we are...
the Battlehammer and mascots.
Indeed.
It's that time of the month again. What time is it?
I'm on my period.
Monthly Mumble. Monthly Mumble. Monthly Mumble. Mumble.
Monthly.
17?
17. 17, like the song.
Sort of age I like my girls.
Oh, dude.
We're going to offend someone. We always offend someone.
That's true.
So, Mumble 17. We've got quite a bit to get through today, so sit down, grab a beer, pin your fucking lug holes back and listen. So, Parky.
Yes.
Let's firstly talk about... Ow! My foot's been bitten. Let's talk about where you were last weekend. Ow, ow, ow.
Where was I?
Where were you?
I was in Germany.
Germany.
I think that's how it's pronounced, isn't it?
I don't know, mate. It's foreign.
I was in the town of Essen. I assume it's probably city of Essen for Spiel, the yearly games convention. Essen Spiel.
And what were you doing there?
I was running demos of Wild West Exodus for the War Cradle dudes.
So you were there at the world's biggest gaming thingy.
Yeah.
Demoing for other people.
Yeah. Because we haven't got a game out yet. And
But
they can't afford to send me over there.
But
just
not doing lots of promotion for the Battlehammer because they were working you too hard.
That's not 100% accurate.
They were working you hard?
We as a team were working very hard.
Well, I'm sure the team was.
They weren't like, you go and do the stuff. It was just that we happened to be a man down because of some
issues,
personal stuff. And it's a longer, each day is a longer day because it's open longer.
Wasn't there a load of stuff getting pinched or something? It wasn't, I think, of another event. No, I'm thinking of another.
Oh, that was a Hastings thing, wasn't it? No. No,
there was another event where loads of stuff kept getting nicked or something. Someone said, well, they should, when they close the venue up, they should, when the trade venues close, they should get everyone out of the bloody halls or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there was. Yeah, you had to wait around for quite a long time for everything to shut down properly, which was a bit annoying.
So, what were your highlights of Essen? Apart from being taken there.
Apart from being taken and going and just seeing how fucking huge it is.
Like, well, you wouldn't have got to see how huge it was. You were working all the bloody time.
Well, you could barely get from one end to the other in any amount of time. Like, it was so big and so many people. Like, just insanely large. Like,
thank you very much.
Like, we were in Hall 6,
yeah,
which was probably the smallest hall because it was more miniatures games and stuff like that, and all the other stuff was board games. And that was the smallest hall, and that was bigger than Saloon. And that was Hall 6 of 6. So there were 5 other halls, all of which were bigger, all of which had more stuff crammed into it, and more people crammed into them. And like the Asmodee hall, Asmodee have practically got their own hall. And it was so like, you just like this, and like you couldn't even, like even if you had a 3-hour lunch break, you could barely get from one end of the place to the other and back again. Do you know what I mean? It was that busy and that big. You could barely, just like 4 days is not enough. I did speak to someone and I was like, would you want to do it for like a whole week? And they said the problem is obviously it's people getting time off work. You know, the longer it becomes, and then of course we went there on the, you know, we set up a day early. So then when do you set up? Like a week ahead of time? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, then it's 2 weeks, it becomes not a week thing, it becomes a 2-week thing. But fuck me. It was
so you enjoyed it?
Yeah, but highlights would be, I ate a swirly potato on a stick. That was nice. So it's like a...
That's a fucking highlight!
No, I'm just saying. So it's like a spiral, it's like a potato put in a spiralizer thingy that kind of turns into like a helter-skelter. They batter it and deep fry it. Fucking amazing. So much better than you think of it and you go, ah, but it was fucking delicious. Winning all of my games. So we went there. Obviously, I ran a bunch of demo games. Speaking to people was great, and obviously having people who knew the Battlehammer and went hey and said hello. That was really. I mean, in truth, that was probably the highlight. Just actually speaking to people and just being like, wow. And when you're, you know, when I'm running a demo, and then they're like, so what do you like and what do you... Because when you're running the demo bit and you're like, this is how you roll dice and this is how you do this, that's fine. But when someone's like, oh, what do you think about such and such? What is this faction all about? And you go, oh, blah, 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 and you get all excited about the narrative. And they're like, oh, that sounds really cool. And then you kind of connect as two gamers. That, for me, was the biggest highlight. Like, when you're... Because obviously I know... not all of it, but I know a lot of the Wild West narrative for Exodus. And so, like, oh, these conquistadors, they look cool. Fucking conquistadors. Let me tell you about the conquistadors. You know, they're actual conquistadors that were trapped in this time bubble 300 years ago, and
now they're back.
Aliens, and now they're back, and they're like, wow, that's really cool. And I'm like, yeah, it is. So that was like, yeah, because obviously the game's fun, but you've got to get them into not getting into, but like if you don't connect to the narrative in some way,
there's no point in playing.
There's no point in playing, right?
That's why we do what we do for the stories.
Yeah, but bless the War Cradle guys. I don't know how they managed to put up with me, because I wouldn't have put up with me.
I try not to.
The first game we played was Raiders of the North Sea. Really fun worker placement type Euro style game where there's kind of 3 sections of the map. And you start off in the Viking area and you're kind of like using your workers to build up money and get crew and then do stuff, and then you move up to the next bit of the map, which is the harbours and the outposts, and you have to assault them to get other workers to then go to the big ones at the back, which are like the monastery and the fortresses, and then you score victory points and stuff like that. The cleverest thing for me was that it's a worker placement game, but you only ever have one worker at the time. So you place a worker, that gives you a thing, then you draw another worker, that gives you something else. Or you attack somewhere, and then you get a worker from attacking somewhere. So you haven't got like 15 bits to worry about, and the turns are really quick. Won that. Never played it before, won it. Job's to give them. Then we played King's Struggle, which is a little card game. It's a negotiation type game, so you get 10 cards. You play each of the cards, whoever gets the highest number wins, but there's a lot more like subtle rules on cards and stuff to be able to potentially do other things. Obviously I won. Then we played Potion Explosion, which I'd seen before but never played, and it's kind of like almost like Candy Crush. There are marbles coming down these channels and you pick one out, and then if 2 of the same colour connect, you can draw them as well, and keep going like that, so you can kind of get chain draws, and then you place them on your little potions.
I don't like chain draws, they chafe.
They chafe on your
Ow,
minge.
stop it.
And then you place them into potions, then the more potions you can create, the more points you get. Won that. They said, I'm not allowed to come anymore because I keep winning all the games. Don't know how I did it. Luck ball.
You're not going again unless you get some time off to promote the hammer.
Well,
I'm not letting you.
PAX, there's more of us going. The other hard thing, I mean, I'm not being... So I don't know any German. It was really weird, like, not being able to read signs, you know, just feeling...
I'm looking at that as a bonus.
Well, yeah, but it's like, I can
You
now
go,
imagine how...
what do you mean I'm not supposed to be down here looking for prostitutes? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't read German.
Yeah, that's true, because it should have done that. That was a highlight, but just honestly, just speaking to people and people getting excited about gaming and just seeing... When you're at a convention like that, and it's the same when you're at Salute or anywhere else.
Tilly, stop it!
When you can just go up to a random person and go, oh, so what are you... You know, what are you into?
Oh, you're a cunt, yeah.
And then they go, oh, like, oh, nice gaming t-shirt, that's a cool thing. And they go, oh, mate, cheers. You can't do that sort of thing like when you're walking around. It kind of reminds me almost of a LARP event where everyone's in the same place and you can just talk to people without feeling like, oh, like I wouldn't go out and go, hey, random guy in a supermarket, I like your t-shirt. That'd be weird.
Well, you have done before and you got told off for doing it.
Yeah.
Silly.
Like in a convention or something, you don't feel, no, you know, that's perfectly acceptable behaviour. But yeah, absolutely bonkers. So busy, but I mean, my feet by the end of the day was like, I'm walking on cobbles in my shoes. That was the nasty bit as well. But great, and the guys, the War Cradle guys, all power to you. Oh, and getting drunk for cocktails. That was hilarious. Pondy, you started it, Pond. You started all the cocktails. Totally all your fault. Wink.
Ding. I still think my idea for their advertising is amazingly brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Random cosplays and like big demo games where everyone can watch rather than getting 1 or 2 people to play a game.
Me and Park are doing it once I'm better. Full costume, sitting there. And then I thought about the other bit. You know, when we're stomping about between demos, because we're not going to run them all fucking day. Because if we're in character, it takes a lot of effort. Blank playing cards. Playing cards. I mean, yeah, they've got to print them out, but playing cards. Wexler symbol on one side, info on the other. You just like walk along and just.
Yeah. Take some notes.
See, I'm the fucking genius. I am.
Yeah, you're a genie's ass.
So, shall we chat before we do questions?
Yeah.
So, what else have we got? What else has been happening?
In the world of gaming.
Yeah. What did you see anything new that sort of sparked your jizzle?
The only issue, I wish I'd done my prep. I didn't prep before I went because I knew that if I prepped, then I'd miss a bunch of stuff out. I was annoyed that I didn't get to play a demo of Fallout, the miniatures game, because I kind of like the idea of the AI in that. So like if you move, they can shoot at you or attack you or whatever. I like the idea of like there's a campaign system as well. Because everyone loves Fallout.
Is that because you were working too hard?
No, I just I do other stuff, but yeah, lazy mostly.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, I like Fallout.
I liked Fallout.
So maybe I did went quite big in on a game because I hadn't spent any money by the last day.
No. This wasn't it at all. It's the I'm English. I now feel guilty because I've been given something for free routine, isn't it?
There was that as well.
I told Joan about that.
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
But she had a giggle at your expense.
I bet. Managed to get a preview, like a press copy, if you like, of Aristea, and bought some other stuff with it. 3 expansions and Terrain.
Oh, and Terrain. I thought Terrain was a.
No, I bought Terrain because that was for the channel.
And how much were the expansions each?
Oh, I can't remember. But you're playing it.
Yes, we are playing it tomorrow.
Playing it tomorrow. First game tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to film tomorrow. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, we're going to film it.
Okay.
We're going to film it.
And the more genuinely, the more I look into it, the more I like it. So
just give them a quick overview of what it is.
So it's set in the Infinity universe. Straw and I have always had a bit of an issue with Infinity. We like it as an idea, as a concept, but it's like you kind of have to. You're either all in or you're not in. In my opinion,
it's balls deep. I think it needs to be like your only game.
Yeah. It has to be a main game for us anyway, because we play so many systems. We can't be, oh god, there's like 3 books to read and. Oh, so you've got that special ability. Well, that means you've got these 5 other special abilities. So I need to learn all of those. Like, oh, fucking hell. And I need to know what my opponent can do, just in case.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff. But I love the world. I love
the minis.
The minis are just stunning. Aristea was a board game set in that universe. And what I really like is they mentioned Aristea in the other... Because I had 2nd edition books. And... I'd read about Aristea in those books, so it is a sport within that world already. So it doesn't feel like a tacked on thing. And the idea is it's a kind of a sports thing that people watch. It's a combat sport, Running Man kind of vibe.
No football,
but no ball. So there are 6 or 7 scoring zones in the hexadome, and you have to beat like more people in that zone, and you score points, and then the zone will move. And that's one of the scenarios. There are other, I think there's 8 scenarios. There's 4 in the box and another 4 to download online for free. And like maybe it's capture the middle, maybe it's have opposing ends, like catch the flag kind of thing. So it feels like that kind of something like almost Halo or something like that, where you hold zones and move around the board.
But you've only got 4 people.
4 people aside. They say it's based on like MOBAs, so multi-online battle arenas, which is like Dota and League of Legends, which I don't play. But the interesting conversation I was having with V and Al, who are 2 of the writers of the game, because I'm so cool, was that it's got the feel of a MOBA without being a MOBA on them. Because I think a lot of times when people want to play, like MOBAs are popular, so they go, well, let's make a game.
They don't translate into board games very well, do they?
You can't just go take, or whether it be MOBAs or whether it be whatever, you can't just take. So Spartan did Halo, as a 15mm battle game, and I think like you can't take Halo. Like I think they did the right thing. It didn't work out, but you can't just go, well, Halo's a first-person shooter, so I'm going to take Halo and I'm going to have one guy and he's going to walk around the field and shoot people. Well, that's you know, you then have to translate it.
Yeah,
and I think they've taken the concept of a MOBA and just gone, right, okay, well, that's the vague idea, but we want to create a game first, and then. So one thing you've got is there are no teams. There are canon teams in that these guys fight together and those guys fight together and those guys fight together, but you can just pick whoever you want. You just pick 4 dudes, and you've got I think we've got 20 dudes with the expansions. There's another 4 coming later in the year, and they've got another 2 expansions planned for next year. And you just go, I'll have that one, I'll have that one, I'll have that one, I'll have that one, and that's it. They don't have to work together. I mean, in theory, you want to be able to balance team, like a combat dude and a control guy and a scoring person and whatever.
Yeah.
But you could just pick whoever you want. And for me, as a gamer,
interesting.
I like the accessibility of that.
Yeah, because you just go, right, I've got these 4, let's play.
Yeah. Or if you want to buy more and you can mix them up, great. If you don't, then that's fine as well.
So yes, we'll be doing that tomorrow. So that will
custom dice is always a good thing.
Custom dice always a good thing. Unless
everything's
they're
on
them
your
fucking
cards.
ones from pissing Deep Madness.
Oh, because they're mean to you. Yeah.
Those
they were
dice
rolling like shit, weren't they?
do not like us, do they? But that was a lot of fun as well.
It looks simple to play, difficult to master kind of vibe, which I like. I'd rather have something like that, and everything's on the cards as well, which is really good.
I'm actually looking forward to trying that tomorrow. So what else? Well, yes, Deep Madness has arrived. We've started to play that. Fuck, that's hard.
As balls, isn't it?
That is really tough, and you know what? I think I like it more because of that.
Yeah, you don't feel.
Oh, I've managed to complete this game because it's quite easy. Boring.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing when you play computer games. As much as I want to burn through the story and find out what's happening, if a game's too easy and you just play through it in 8 hours and you're like, oh, that's done. Excuse me. You don't feel like you're getting your money's worth in a sense. Whereas now it's like, okay, so you played it twice, and we've played it together once. Don't eat my feet. Can't.
That's a bit of shit.
Yes. Then you feel like you're getting your money's worth. Because now we've got to play that first mission over and over. Fuck off.
Tilly! Dogs. Yeah, it's really hard work.
I assume there's one up here.
I don't know if there is. There's one downstairs in the front room. But yeah, it's very Cthulhu-esque. It's there's a deep sea mining facility. It's all gone very quiet, and your crew is sent down to find out what's going on. You get there, it's all power out, blood everywhere, oxygen's running low.
Oh yeah, you saw me come upstairs.
Yeah, that's a nice little technique. Some of the areas are flooded, so you've got your little air dial. So whenever you do action, your air's going down.
That's interesting.
And then the way you've got your turn track, events happen. You get a symbol, but then depending on what mission you're doing, depends on what the symbol means. So in this first one, when you get to the symbol, the air's beginning to go down, and you're like.
I really liked. There's a lot of narrative on the cards. So as you draw cards, it will give you like a good chunk of text.
It's all, standard playing card kind of thing. It's all text, and there's like a line at the bottom saying, "Gain 1 health."
Yeah, gain 1 health, or do this.
It's
or do
all
that.
about the story.
Yeah.
Which immediately.
And that, to me, that adds, because it's on the cards and not in a book, that adds to the replayability, because you might not see those cards. You might, so we had outpost number 3, outpost number 7, outpost number 4, whatever. And so actually, you want to get 1 to 8 and then figure out what it does. And you could, if you wanted to, you could just read through them all and figure out stuff. But I like that you're figuring stuff out as you play. It's quite cool.
Very, very good game. And it's now on, the second printing is now up on Kickstarter.
About another...
Will you bloody sit down?
About another 3 weeks, I think, left on it.
Yeah.
Odd days.
Let's just wait for Mutt to settle down on his beanbag, shall we?
Yeah. We'll be there in a minute. What else? October, that happened. Don't really care.
I don't like the way the Alt Codex didn't come out.
Yeah,
until
that was a bit weird.
Until this week.
I didn't. I mean, I'm not an awkward player, but I'd have been annoyed if all I'd have seen was a couple of
Speed freaks.
cars and then that speed freak box and then late having the thing.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the 40k Warhammer Quest, the Blackstone Fortress thing.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Oh, right? I'm loving the figures so far.
I really like that you've seen stuff. So I think we've seen 3 so far.
Yeah, we've seen the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
The
crew
Crute.
guy and that weird like.
That's the Blackstone Sentinels.
Is it? They look cool because they look
Yeah.
really different. It's like
Yeah.
a War of the Worlds tripod.
They're the Sentinels that the Blackstone Fortress uses. Apparently, I'm like, I'm all over that. Like jizz over your mum's face.
They look really cool. They
Does.
look like something really different for 40k universe, so that's good.
Yeah.
What else?
I think that's about it when it comes to like new stuff that we're interested in at the moment.
Like as far as newness. I think Annie the Dice Bag Lady's got a Kickstarter going on at the moment.
Oh, the female samurai.
ladies,
Yep, very nice, very nice.
which is nice. So go and check that out
Yep.
if you want some samurai ladies.
No interest to me because we
No,
don't do
Not for me, but
that kind of. But they are very
Yeah.
nice models, though.
yeah.
Very nice models. But apart from that, I can't really think of anything at the moment because we're just doing like
So much. That's the problem, isn't
so much of everything. I mean, yes, there's more Exodus stuff coming. Of course there is.
it? Yeah.
Bucket loads of it.
But this is what I found with Essen. There was so much there, and you saw people with like 4-wheeled trolleys, like like almost as big as this table.
Oh yeah.
Piled high with stuff, just games and games and games. I'm like, obviously they've saved up all their money and they're going to buy all this stuff, but it's like,
How are you going to get it
How are you
home
gonna get it home,
if you're
right?
not
What's
in
the-
Germany
yeah, like
and you don't drive?
what's the point? But like, I think we live in this golden age of the internet when you can just order anything.
Yeah, but when they're there, they're getting it there, aren't they? And
Yeah, you
sometimes
might be getting it ahead of time,
better deals.
pre-release stuff,
Yeah.
and deals and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think for me, the issue was that probably 80% of the stuff was in German, and it was like, I get it. I mean, that's cool that they produce these games in other languages. Don't get me wrong, but it was like, oh, cool. I wanted to pick that because I thought I'd buy that Raids of the North Sea 'cause I really enjoyed it, and I thought we'd enjoy it. I liked the fact that we don't always often have a lot of time for board games. But it was really easy to pick up, and it was like Cavern Tavern because it was the same artist, the Miko, who does the art for Cavern Tavern, and it also had the same vibe of as soon as you knew what all the symbols meant, the game was super easy. Like, I was looking at it going, I can't get this. Once we started playing, right, totally in. Wanted to buy it, couldn't find it in English, only found it in German. I was like, nah.
And yeah, you see,
I mean, I will pick it up at some
yeah,
point.
but the weird thing is, it's Essen. It's like the biggest fucking show.
Yeah, people travel from all over the world.
There should have been a bit more English.
I spoke to Irish people, I spoke to American people, I spoke to Belgian people, people from the Netherlands.
No wonder
Dutch people.
everyone's trying to kick us out of the fucking EU.
Spanish
It's all
people.
your fault.
It's all my fault. Yeah. People from all over the world. Australia, new guy from New Zealand. I ran a demo for. He bought some stuff. That was really nice. Not like it was nice that he bought some stuff, but it was like really had a meeting of minds.
No, we know
cool.
these New Zealanders. There's only like 3 of them on the island.
That's true. Yeah.
I think we're friends with 4 of them. Right then, so let's have a look at some of these questions, or do I need
Yeah,
to pee first? No, I think we're okay.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
little Frankie doing a little guest appearance. Now Tilly's going, no, I want to be on camera. Oh.
They all love them girls and girls. They all love me. They all love me.
No one
They all
loves
love
you.
Me. Them girls and girls. They all love me.
So, come on then, what we got?
Okie dokie. So you may or may not remember this. I'm just like prefacing this with stuff that people might remember from the last monthly Mumble. So a couple of these questions at the start are we were talking about killing people off. And whether you would play them.
Oh yeah.
Cynthia Miller, sup?
Hey, Cynthia! Woo!
That's all. I plan on having the iconic hunters die or retire on occasion in Urban Manhunt's official setting.
As long as they're not mine, I don't care.
I think it keeps things organic and prevents it from feeling static. Good call.
Very good call.
Whether the players go along with the official timeline and remove those hunters from their game is entirely up to them. I'll personally be removing them from my games.
That's the designer saying that.
Yeah, and I think that obviously, it's up to you as a gamer how much you want to use or not use.
I love it.
Sats, aka Ed Halliday. Sup, Ed?
Ed.
Speaking on a similar subject, on narrative in Guild Ball, the season restrictions were an original idea, which I talked to Rich and Matt about at the Dicini they attended.
That was the
we were
first
at as
one.
well,
That was the
which
first
we
one.
bought our first stuff.
And we met Ed there.
We met Ed there. We didn't know Ed at the time.
No, we
so
didn't.
We didn't know him. I played against Ed, not knowing it was Ed, and only like speaking to him later on. I did my demo against him. There's pictures of it somewhere.
Hey, you two.
I can't remember who played Fish and who played Butchers. Anyway, and I think Sherwin was running the demo.
Sherwin was running it for you.
So, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, where they said they had plans to show the journey of characters across the seasons so they'd level up and change veterans and seasons with the story.
Well, yeah, they have done, haven't they? Because you've got your veterans and everything.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. However, they've also had to say that since they don't want to stop people playing with the models they've spent their money on, which to me makes a lot of sense, I'd like to see a casual event done with story restrictions. Only the latest version of a character, so no brisket for butchers, no spigot for brewers, only current captain and no dead players.
Yeah.
Oh, me.
Cracking idea.
Now, questions. How are you finding Season 4 Guild Ball so far? Tweaks to rules cards you like, tweaks you loathe.
Is there a season 4?
There is, and I'm fucking loving it.
Yeah, I am.
I'm really, really
Allegedly.
enjoying it. For me, I know that they've said in their blog posts and such that they kind of made individual changes, but mostly created changes across the teams. Because I think as they've added characters, and maybe this guy breaks the game a little bit, well, now they can work them as a group and make them feel more cohesive.
Well, we've played and filmed 5.
Yeah.
4 have gone up. The latest one's just gone up, which is the Hunters against Butchers.
Oh, Butcher's going to butch.
It's a hard game though, wasn't it?
Butcher's going to chop shit up.
Hard game, especially against Hunters, because it kept slowing you down.
Mm.
But yeah, I felt if I'd have actually hadn't randomly picked my team and just gone meh, and sat, I could have probably held you.
Oh yeah, totally.
But yeah, I'm liking the changes.
I like them a lot.
You know, there's no actual changes to the main game as such. Not changes that we weren't already using.
No, I really like the first player getting point of momentum if they go second.
Yeah,
that's really, really nice.
Yeah, that stops that instant goal, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it just creates a little bit of tension right from the off, which is super cool.
So yeah.
As far as my Butcher's changes, I actually really like that Boiler doesn't have access to Swift Stance anymore.
I'm not happy with that fucking axe throw though, he does.
Oh.
Yeah, 3 points of damage.
Wash, 3 points of damage, 4 if he's near Ox, 5 if he's Ox's legendary is up. And he's so good.
Can you only do that once?
I think it's once per turn, yeah.
Toffee fudge for that.
But you could do it and then charge. And because it's when he does damage, it still does bleed. So that's nice. So 5 points of potential for 5 points of damage and bleed. Wobble, wobble, wobble. But I really like that he doesn't have Swift Stance, and I think that's the thing about like looking at a team overall.
It's P. You carry on, Children.
Yeah, looking at a team overall and going, taking Swift Stance out means that Philip is less of a.
Oh, she's still a stabby.
Oh
bitch.
yeah, she's still a savvy bitch, but she's less of a. She can't go defense 6 now.
Wow.
No, I think for me as a Butcher's player, I think that's a good thing.
No, she could if she's charged.
Yeah, but anyone can do that. And also, Boiler can't go up to like 6-2 anymore because Ox doesn't have tough hide, tough skin, whatever it's called.
Wow.
And I think but I think that's good because it promotes that kind of what's the word, like a glass cannon approach of the Butchers, which they always had, and it means that now I'm going to feel less guilty if I decide to play with Philip. Whereas I intentionally was never using Philip because it was like, oh, I'll just do that combo where she gets tooled up from what's her name and Swift Stance, so she's now defense 6 and like 5 points of damage. Oh yeah, she's unkillable.
But the interesting thing is, though, I haven't actually had a chance to play them yet. Is the Morticians? So I don't think.
I didn't get any massive changes.
Apart from the
Cosset,
thing with silence, Cosset's changed. I don't know if it's going to make that much of a difference.
No.
But we'll have to see. I mean, Brewers, I really enjoyed the Brewers against your Butchers.
Fucking that 3-day long game.
87 hours, I think it took us.
Yeah. 8 turns, 9 turns.
Yeah.
Butchers v
But
Farmers.
really enjoyed it.
Oh, so good. So good. And there was so little in it at the end as well.
Excuse me? Excuse me, we're filming here.
as far as the Alchemists is one of my main teams, I'm super happy with them. I don't think they are overpowered or anything. I just think they're really a good team now.
It is quite funny that Alchemist. Well, I'm now an Alchemist player. What? I'm playing Alchemist. Oh, for fuck's sake!
I think
butterflies,
yeah.
flutter, 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 flutter. And then they're all new navigators. Well, you're not at the moment, are you? Ha!
No, crikey. Farmers, I think they'll take a bit of getting used to because they're probably one of the more different.
I know
teams.
everyone's having a cry over Grange. Oh, he's lost all his abilities. He was overpowered. Fucking deal with it.
Yeah, he was secretly amazing.
Hello.
No one appreciate how genuinely fucking awesome he was.
Hello, you come to make your guest appearance. What do you think about the butchers? He doesn't like them either.
But then also, if Grange is now not an auto-include, maybe I'll use Thresherable. And they've lost that weird thing where Thresher can just become... his conditions go on to her, and then he gets the free charge, and he's always... So I think they're balancing it around, and I think I like it. I think Season 4 is, you know, really primo version of the game.
It's good. It's good.
I mean, we you know, we've been up and down with Guild Ball over the years, you know, but now I think this is definitely an up moment, and I'm feeling like I want to play more Guild Ball. Loving it.
Completely agree with that.
So that was the first question that Ed had.
God, one of them dogs just shit.
That wasn't me.
Good lord, that's made me ice water. Next question.
Oh no, this is still more. Oh,
what?
Open from that. When's the next Man of War? We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. We haven't got any specific plans.
We make it up as we go along. What have we got next week? Next week we have stuff. It's on the board.
We should play Man of War again actually because that was
fun. It was fun.
Straw, where are you planning to move to, and are you taking Parker?
No.
You must have a third dog crate to transport him in.
If we move, we're only going to be going to like Galston or Yarmouth, so he'll be coming over like once every 2 weeks for like 3 days of solid filming, sex and beer. I haven't told him that bit yet. Which he'll be staying over, so it's not going to make any difference to the Battlehammer. We would, you know, if we're doing 3 days of filming, that's at least 6 games, at least.
Yeah.
So
rather than spreading it along a week, we'll do like an intense bit of filming, and
yeah, and then
we'll still get the same amount done.
Yeah, and then we can get editing done, make it look a little bit neater, possibly. But yeah, we're not. There's not a huge move away. But if anyone does want to buy the Battle Cave, they get a free house.
Yeah, it's true. Any plans to try out the Frostgrave author's new game, Rangers of the Shadow Deep?
Who?
A co-op, more RPG-like miniatures game, which comes with a 9-scenario campaign in the rulebook.
What?
Looks very interesting. Going to be self-published around November.
Who?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
I
thought you meant the Ghost Ark game.
No, new game, Rangers of the Shadow Deep.
Never heard of it.
I assume set in the same world, but I've never heard of it. There's a link here. I will check it out.
What sort of bleeding game people informers are we if we don't know shit like that?
We're not.
Oh, aren't we?
We're just wankers who play games.
I'll drink to that.
And that was actually my genuine, going back to the Essen thing, it was a genuine highlight to have people say, like, love what you do, I can just put it on, and it's like having gamers in the room, just chatting shit. Like, right, you know, we know we're never going to be, oh, I got to meet Rodney Smith, that was a highlight, he doesn't care, but I care.
I don't even know who he is.
So, when we get to play board games, a lot of the times I will check out how it's played. How it's played?
Don't you read the rule book?
I read the rule book occasionally, but how it's played, Rodney Smith, he's really good at, like, this is the rules of the game, blah blah blah, one of the best on there, and I said to him, like, he's my go-to man.
Oh right.
Really, really good.
And then you obviously told him who we were.
Yeah. That was really cool, but we're never going to be that. We're not how to play gamers. We might go through rules occasionally, but
yeah, but we're not. If you want to play a game, you don't watch us on how to play a game, because
we'll
we
find
are
better stuff out there.
There's a whole lot better channels out there for that. We are just. I kind of like to quote it says entertainers.
Yeah.
We're entertainers whilst playing games.
Yeah. Paulos01 says, just a quickie fellas, ooh, matron. Are there any Burrows and Badgers, Moonstone and Twisted games coming up in the near future?
Yes, and yes.
Also, cheers for all the veds and keeping us laughing. Oh, thanks.
Yes, and yes.
Yes.
fucking dog today.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's been
there is
today.
all of them. Twisted, we've got the Wave 2 in the post. Wave 2 stuff we'll be getting. So yes, I think that's got the Egyptians and the Harmony cult in.
Yeah.
A monkey.
In
Monkey!
the world of monkey.
Have you watched the reboot?
No.
Shocking.
I bet it is.
It's
as well.
fucking awful. So yeah, that's coming. Burrows and Badgers are just on their latest Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I think that's like about 3 days left.
Kingfisher looks amazing.
The Kingfisher is awesome. I like old Half Hop or something, the cleric, the rabbit cleric with a wooden leg.
Oh, wooden leg.
And I love, I think it's the Badger Mage. And a whole group of badgers. It'll be fucking awesome! Oh! So yeah, I mean, we've still got to finish the Twisted campaign.
Yeah.
And Moonstone is just fun anyway. It's just so whimsical and cutesy. I love
I
it.
really like what Burrows and Badgers Oath Swarm they've been doing with their version of Kick, because obviously Kickstarter is Kickstarter.
Michael and Joe, we know who you are.
Big love. But I think a lot of times Kickstarter is used by large companies to just pre-order stuff like cool.
Which is bollocks, isn't it? You know, that's not what Kickstarter should be about.
I mean, I get it, but I think when they do these little 1 week Kickstarters just to get enough money to do the casting process and get production going on, I think it suits them as a smaller company. I think it really does them good, and I think it's a real, how do I put it? It's Kickstarter doing what Kickstarter should be for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But it annoyed me because it's only on for a week. I was like, oh shit, I can't quite scrape the money together to get them all now. Because otherwise, you know, I'd wait till Salute and just turn up and go, Michael, all the stuff from the Kickstarter now. Like I did last time, but I still haven't got the bloody Sparrow. I thought, shit, but then fortunately our mate Chris Naval said, wait, is there going to be a late pledge? Yes, there is, so job done.
Yeah. Good on them.
Very good. I love what
Good
they
use
do.
of Kickstarter.
And I love the miniatures. The miniatures are
Yeah,
beautiful. So pretty.
And I love that we live in this world now. We talk about this golden age of gaming, but where, yes, you can get like CAD design stuff, computer assisted, whatnot, and it all looks amazing. But there's something about a hand created model that's genuinely sculpted
And
by
it's
a dude.
and it's one piece.
One piece.
One piece
Such
metal.
character, you know. It's like it kind of tickles your little
Oh,
nostalgia.
and the thing is, each model screams personality, doesn't it?
Totally.
I mean, I think it's the Badger Mage or something. He's got a little pipe, and you're like, oh,
I love that.
love it.
And I love that you can go from Mortarian to that and be happy with both.
Yeah. So, Burrows and Badgers, if you haven't already checked it out, check it out. Oath Sworn Miniatures, Michael and Joe, lovely couple. We love them all to bits.
Yep.
We're plugging everyone away, aren't we?
Moonstone and Twisted we will be playing soon as well.
More Moonstone coming, and as I said, Twisted definitely is coming soon.
Finish the campaign and then start
the next stuff.
full games and see what's going on with that.
And we've got all the factions for Moonstone as well now, so expect to see some fairies.
Yeah.
And gnomes.
No.
I'll tell you what, that bloke on the gnome on the goat. You seen how big that goat's balls are?
Oh yeah, I saw the pictures.
Huge. Next.
They do have big balls. Goats and sheep. They've got massive balls. Apparently, it's relevant to how much. So, gorillas have tiny balls.
Whales have huge cocks.
Yeah, but gorillas have tiny balls because once the big gorilla's in charge, no one else fucks his harem, right?
Yeah.
So, because he's in charge, no one fucks his harem, so he doesn't need massive balls.
But goats will just smash it out
They'll
anywhere.
smash it all the time, and so you need massive balls to produce all the semen so you can flush out the previous semen. That's why these animals have big or small balls. And we've got mine middle balls because, yeah, we're kind of vaguely monogamous, but you want to make sure there's enough in there in case it gets flushed out by the next guy.
Next question, please.
I'm not making this up. This is fucking scientific fact.
I don't
bitch.
care. Goat semen.
Well, at least I'm only talking about it.
I'm not touching it like you normally do.
Andrew Carter.
Hoi hoi, Googie!
Hoi hoi. Oh, that's yeah, yeah. I didn't realise. In respect of the narrative play and dead characters, one word. Well, two, but you know what I mean. Bobby Ewing. may need to explain to the younger viewers about Dallas and the whole. It was all a dream.
It was all a dream.
So you tell them.
No.
No, go on. Tell them about Dallas.
Dallas. Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, this was like
Right.
a cultural touchstone of our generation, really.
Yeah. So Dallas was a soap opera from years ago. I think I did it recently and everything. So this character died.
I'm going to pee while you're telling them. Because
I can't actually remember the whole story.
Oh, I don't remember the whole thing.
But
But
the
JR
character-
got shot.
JR got shot, yeah, but Bobby Ewing died. And he was out of it for like quite a while, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden his wife wakes up one morning, here's the shower going, and she's like, gets to the shower, opens the door, and he's standing there. And he just carries on as if nothing's happened, and she's like, apparently it was all a dream. That's like one of those films, isn't it, where you go through this intense build up, oh, it's awesome, stuff happens, blah, blah, people die, and then you wake up. No.
I think we've got 2 seasons.
It's a cop-out.
Yeah.
It's a fucking cop-out. It's writers being lazy, or it's Bobby Ewing, who was Patrick Duffy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Saying, I want to come back in the show because it made me money. Well, but you died. Well, you're writers, work something out. I think it's shit. It's a shit way of dealing with things. You know, you just if you died, if your character's dead, you're dead. Fuck off. You know, if you leave a series, fine. If you leave it alive, fine. They can bring you back. Oh Christ, they do it in EastEnders all the bloody time. Oh, I'm coming back now, am I? Just. No, you carry on peeing, mate. I'm going to find a question. So, oh, this is a good one. So, one of our death metal friends, Jonathan Aries, what's your favourite RPG system and why?
Oh, system. That's it.
None of them, because they're all no. See, I've got 2.
System.
I've got 2 for this.
Not setting. System.
No, system. I've got 2 for this.
Mhm.
One, it's Earthdawn.
Ooh,
Now,
yeah,
I know
yeah.
a lot of it is the setting, but
But-
the system itself, where you do your talents and you have all your different dice levels and everything,
Yeah.
and it works so well with the setting.
The
I
setting
love
is
that.
the system, and the system is part of the setting. Which
Yeah,
I really
it's
like.
it's beautiful, but I think it's always going to be
Oh,
Warhammer.
Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay.
Warhammer
yeah,
Fantasy
yeah,
Roleplay.
yeah.
It's now in 4th edition,
Yeah, I
which
don't
no
know if
one has sent us yet, which is piss
I
poor.
don't know if it's the same as the old one. I hope it is.
It is. It's not the card system like they did in version 3. It's basically just cut right back to the
I
original.
love the career system
and
in that.
yeah, they've still got all
Career
that, and they've
system's so
changed. I don't think they've changed that much. I think the changes that they have done have made the game smoother to run. But yeah, it's always going to be those 2. But if I want a really quick system,
Savage Worlds has been really good.
Savage Worlds is a quick system. These original West End games, D6 Star
Yeah.
Wars system, it's a nice system. You could take that system and change it for anything.
And that's what I like about the Savage Worlds, because they've already got so many other books that you can go like, I want to play fantasy.
It's not-
buy the well, not even buy the fantasy.
It's
book,
not
but
like
it's-
GURPS, is it? Where
Oh.
you get a book for each and it's fucking hard going. Savage Worlds is
I
literally
love the
just
idea
so
of
quick,
GURPS,
simple.
but there's so much in it.
But whereas Savage Worlds isn't.
No.
If you want to run and play a game, because you want to play a game, Savage Worlds. Because these days you can go online and some fan has written the rules for it.
Yeah.
Because all you want is the character generation and special notes about certain skills, etc.
Yeah.
Everything else is the same. It's it's a very good little system.
I have to agree with fantasy roleplay, old school fantasy roleplay with all the. I mean, I've got my
Oh,
first
a rat
edition-
catcher!
First edition paperback with the rat catchers.
Fucking
in
hell,
it.
I've got my first edition hardback.
Oh, what were they? Were they furbolgs? What were they?
There was ambles. There was no furbolgs.
What were the one-eyed with the beaky face?
The Famirs.
Famirs, that's it.
Yes, Delaney
Famirs.
King. I remember seeing your pictures of Famirs the other day, going through your
Famirs, man.
boxes of models that you've just remembered you've got. whole load of old style Vermeers. I'm like,
Oh really?
you're a
Awesome.
bitch.
They're
I
amazing.
hate you with a passion.
They disappeared out of them. And Malal, the fifth Chaos God, and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff was in there.
Yeah, well, let's face
Loads
it,
of good
that
stuff.
was-
Shadows of a Boghafen or whatever it was.
Oh,
There's
wow.
so many good. And the old world was always good, but that was like peak old world because it was. And that was John Blanche when John Blanche wasn't just on a page. Like I'm sorry, John Blanche, if you're watching. But a lot of the newer stuff, especially it's just. I mean, I get that it's like abstracty and whatnot, but it's just a bit.
I want to be able to at least see something in there.
Whereas that was John Blanche, when it was dirty and grimy, and you look at all the old world buildings that are oppressive and building over you, like Tudor style, like up and then in and up and in.
But that was the whole point of Warhammer Fantasy
Yeah.
roleplay. That's why it worked so, because it was so dark.
Yeah.
But you could relate to it because it wasn't it, a part of our kind of medieval times, and you could relate to that.
And
I mean, I still remember that, like they did that mission, the one adventure, like Rough Night at the Three Feathers. Cracking little story. Basically, there's a chaos cult about to do some summoning, and you lot just happen to turn up at this inn. Bad weather, everything at the same time. Lots of other people have turned up, and lots of little events are going on. But can you piece together what's actually relevant to this? I loved it so much.
Combat was violent and deadly.
Good.
Proper fucking
It should
violent and
be.
deadly.
It shouldn't be like D&D where, well, I've got an arrow of +1 slaying, but fuck off.
Yeah, D&D's.
I've cut your head off. What are you doing about it?
I mean, it is what it is. You know,
Correct.
D&D is like kind of Hollywood, anime.
Hooray
TV.
for Hollywood.
Like, but not Paul because he's a cunt.
Sorry,
it's
Paul.
like, you know, you get shot and then you go to bed and you get all your hit points back. It's like, no. I mean, that's what it is. I mean,
But
it is what it is.
even in Warhammer Fantasy,
But in
it
Warhammer
takes
Fantasy,
you fucking ages to
If you
heal.
get hurt, you
Awesome.
have to fucking be in bed for months. But it was great. I loved it. Yeah, it's got to be up there.
It has to be.
I'm trying to think of. I mean, we love Deadlands. I mean, Deadlands is now Savage Worlds, but I loved Deadlands as a system. Tell a lie. I love it as a player. I don't love it as a GM. I fucking hate it as a GM.
As a GM,
It's a fucking nightmare as a GM.
yeah.
It's hard.
It should be
You've got to
interesting.
know everything.
Well,
It's
try,
so much.
that's why we should try it with Savage Worlds.
Yeah,
That'd
because
be so much
there's
fun.
books.
Yeah, I've got it.
Because Savage Worlds is effectively the Deadlands system, but pared down,
Pared down.
playable.
Yeah.
Because I loved it as a player with the poker chips and the cards and everything. It
For
was really
GM, you're like
thematic. Nightmare to keep up with it all.
Yeah, I've got a load of it downloaded. So another one from Sunfire SG. I know you're New Zealandy. Fucking know it. You're all the bleeding same, ain't ya? You're from New Zealand. His question, which I think is quite a good one actually. What kind of cult would you like to start?
Ooh. Got to be a sex cult, right? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Sex and drugs.
I just want tentacles involved. No particular reason.
Because the whole like end of the world, like, hey, let's go on a killing spree. That's just like, that's not nice. But if you can just get a bunch of people to sit in your face.
I'll tell you what. I'm moving quickly on for it. I'll tell you what's annoyed me last couple of days, right?
Yeah.
The amount of zombies I've killed.
Oh yeah.
Why are they all carrying candy?
But yeah, I saw that on the Facebooks. It's good. It's good.
A cult. God.
I
No, that's religion, isn't it, God?
I don't have enough self-confidence to start.
No.
Like,
No.
Oh, everyone should follow me and do. I mean, if you want to. I mean, but if you don't, that's fine.
If you don't, it's fine.
Just probably a shit idea.
I don't know.
Me in my little room with my cape on. It's like, oh, just me again.
Lighting your own candles because you
Yeah.
haven't got any minions to light.
Omni. I suppose I'll have sex with myself again.
I really don't know. You see, it depends whether I'm going for my evil, dark, twisted, nasty side, in which case that sort of cult I can't mention on camera
No.
because that would get us shot. It was a fun kind of type cult, then it would involve drugs and drinking.
Yeah. Booze, drugs.
A gaming cult.
Yeah.
Which is basically what we are anyway.
Yeah, I think so. Finding the meaning of existence via the medium of games. In the same way that people predict futures with cards, you predict not futures but like examine the concept of the universe via the medium of playing games.
Wow, that's
I
deep.
did.
That's
I don't know
really fucking deep.
The problem is, I'm an ideas man, right? I'm not an actual
Anything.
doer of stuff. So I had the idea that if you've got things like tarot cards and whatnot, and you've got films that explain themes within their stories, I'd really like a game that wasn't just kind of a highfalutin board game which had lots of like ooh, but like an actual game you could play that had these kind of stories and themes and potential for character development. And
shit, there was a game. It was all done on like
EverQuest.
tarot cards.
Yeah, EverQuest,
Yeah.
something like that.
That was
not
awesome.
just a role-playing game, but more like a board game or even a miniatures game that just had, which is one of the things that I think we both like about Wexodus, is when you take the Order and the Hex, for example. You know,
Boo!
but the Hex isn't innately bad,
I think you'll find you are.
and the Order aren't innately good.
Yes, we are.
Oh, and that was a nice thing when I was chatting to people, like, so the Order, you know, they're like good guys, so they
Yes.
want to save the world.
Yes.
However, if they can't destroy the Hex, they'll just burn the planet to ash.
No, that's unfair. We do give them at least 10,000 years to try and sort themselves out enough so they can get their technology up to scratch to destroy the Hex. If they can't do it in 10,000 years, then I'm sorry, we're going to have to come along and deal with it for them. Yes, it may mean the destruction of their world, but that's not our fault. It's their fault for not being clever enough, quick enough.
All the Hex is trying to do is survive, man.
You corrupt people!
We're just hanging out.
You corrupt people!
Hey, look, if people are easily corrupted, that's their own fault. But that's the sort of thing I really like in a game, where you can have these discussions, and yes, we're like fake taking sides, but like...
No, I am definitely taking...
but I really like that kind of vibe in games, you know, I think there should be more of that. Like, in 40k, the whole chaos like versus the Emperor is like a bit middling.
And the fact is, if you actually really sat and looked at it, everyone would be chaos in that whole universe.
Yeah.
Because of the way it is. You know, it's a violent, nasty, dark universe. So everyone at some point would be tainted by chaos. It's just the way it is.
Well, yeah, the chaos gods are just personifications of human consciousness. They would be the chaos. What sometimes I think people forget, whether in the world and out of the world, is that chaos is nothing without human, or not just human, but sentient consciousness providing that. Like the Slaanesh came into being from the Eldar being like, hey, let's have all of the sex because we like totally can. Like we have minds that are beyond anything else. We're so fucking sexual and do all the drugs and have the sex and.
But it's not all about sex, for God's sake.
No, but I mean
say
the decadence.
like, oh, sex.
But
it could be eating way too many pork pies.
I'm worshipping Slaanesh. I do wonder why people don't like. Why I know that Slaanesh is the but he's the most powerful, but no one really knows. No, everyone knows that Slaanesh is the most powerful because I'm not a rage monster. Like most people aren't rage monsters. Most people don't rub their own filth on themselves, and they don't sit there going, Most people, if you had a choice between four things, have a sneaky plan, rage murder, get a bit ill, or sex, drugs, and rock and roll, 99% of people would pick sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You know, if that was going to corrupt you, it'd be the sensational bit.
Yeah.
Maybe there's more to this whole. Yeah, I don't know. If I was going to start a cult, I probably shouldn't. It'd be the cult of the inadequate.
Oh, you're going to have to join my cult. I don't think so. You're in.
It'd be the cult of apathy. So we've got a meeting on Thursday. Who's coming? I can't be asked.
Okay, so
I was going to put it on the Facebook so everyone could know when the date was. I couldn't
be bothered. So a question from the other members of the band. Boop. Helen, hello Helen. How are you? How's the leg?
Got nips like bullets.
Has she? Oh no,
Oh,
you. Oh. I don't know. How's the leg? Still sore. Good. So her question. Will you guys ever try the new Night Vault or the new Undead Army for Blood Bowl? Well, firstly, it's not an Undead Army for Blood Bowl, it's a team. Get your facts right.
Nerds.
No, because we don't play Blood Bowl because it's just. I find it way too linear.
I had an interesting conversation with Chris Pond the other day about Blood Bowl.
Pondy! He said, getting my boy drunk. No.
Yeah, baby. And we were talking about how, like, the problem that GW had was you had so many people going, we want to play Blood Bowl and it has to be the same. But then we had other people going, I want to play Blood Bowl, but that's a 30-year-old game. I want it to be updated. And I think...
And they didn't.
From a company point of view, they probably did the right thing by making it basically the same game. But from a me point of view, you know...
Why do I want to go back to playing the game where you line everything up and you just push everything forward and you've only got a knockdown, a push or a bloody takeout? Now it's just too limited.
And as Chris said, like the problem you get is when you set everything up and everything's really good and you miss that first pass and then all of a sudden it all falls apart and then you're like, oh.
And then someone scores a touchdown, so you reset everything again.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of Guild Ball. You don't have that worry with Guild Ball.
Yeah,
you just crack on with the game.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I've scored a goal. Right, well, the ball's off again. And
I mean, as far as Blood Bowl versus Guild Ball is more like football and Blood Bowl is more like American football.
Which isn't a real sport. It's a whole bunch of men trying to punch the shit out of each other.
Handball, as they should probably call it.
Handball.
Hand egg.
Hand, face,
not a ball, it's an egg.
Oh,
so hand egg.
Fucking no.
But yeah, I mean, it's
I mean, I'm not being funny. The miniatures for the Blood Bowl team are beautiful.
The new minis for all the Blood Bowl teams are just.
But no.
Especially the Nurgle one. Love the Nurgle one because I love Nurgle anyway. But yeah, all the undead stuff.
And as for the Nightbolt thing, that's just the follow-on for Shadespire, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shoot me in the face. Shoot me in the fucking face. Just does not work for me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the figures are beautiful. The Night Gaunts look so cute. But I just would rather probably staple my eyelids to the floor and fill up the space with soul.
And it's as we were talking about Aristeo earlier on, where you can pick. So it's got a similar vibe in that you get your team and you also get a deck of cards. But in one, like a thing about Shadespire and Nightfall that fucks me off is that if I want those cards, I have to buy that set. And I don't want that set because I don't want to play those.
I don't want those figures, but that's a shitty way of doing it.
If I buy the box, obviously you have to buy the box because you have to buy the main box, right? If you want to buy other teams, you get extra cards for those guys, but you don't need to buy that box if you don't want those things. You can just yeah, great, I've got them. If not, cool.
Yeah.
And it's a silly thing, but it means a lot. You know?
It does mean a lot, especially if you haven't got enough money to keep just flashing out and buying this box set's got a couple of figures in.
You're never going to use those dudes.
But you just want that one card.
And again, the same thing with Aristeo is if I buy that expansion, I can use as many or as few as I want to use, without kind of oh, now I have to play that team, and now I have to play that team. You just go, oh, I'm in or I'm out, or I can mix it about and do what I like. Whereas with Shadespire, I want those cards, but I don't want to play that team. Or I want to play that team, but I want to use that guy. It doesn't matter, you have to use that team.
Yeah, I just really...
I found Shadespire a bit... And for me, it was too simple. I get that they pared it down and made it easy to play, and I'm sure it's a lot of tactical depth, but I just felt okay, just hitting stuff, making it dead, blah.
I was like, nah, you didn't, nah, it's just not for me. Not for me.
And
but
I learnt a rule. I was chatting to the guys, and I can't remember how we got onto the subject of Shadespire, but it was about the conversation. The general conversation was about rules as written versus rules as intended, and how sometimes I think something come up on Facebook, and it was like, oh well, yeah, but clearly that means that. And it seems obvious to us as gamers, but obviously as a person going, well, I think that. Well, yeah, I mean, technically you might be right, you're probably wrong. But one of the things they were saying was in Shadespire, the night gaunts, the ghosty dudes. So when they move, they can move through terrain and through other things, right?
Yeah.
Because they're ghosts. Okay.
Yeah.
However, it's a bit ambiguous in when they move. So do they perform a move action, or are they moved by someone else? So one of the, I think, captain or whatever, can move other people. And so he can move through things. That makes sense, right? Because they can move through stuff, so if he moves them, he can move through stuff. And then GW went, no, that's not how it's supposed to work. If he moves them, they can't move through stuff.
But they're insubstantial at the best of the fucking GW. You haven't got a fucking clue, have you?
And that was like, to me, that's a real disconnect of like, whether you say rules be intended versus rules as written. But if you can move through stuff, you can move through. You can't move through stuff. But actually, he told you. Straw said to walk through that door, and I can't walk through it now. I could have walked through it if I'd have decided.
Oh, wasn't me.
He told me to, and I can't.
That just doesn't make any fucking sense.
And I think it's a little thing, but that's enough of a disconnect for me that I'm just like, fucking stupid. It's a stupid, obvious thing that should just be obvious.
Silly.
But I think
hope we answered that for you, Helen.
Yeah. We're not going to play those games.
No.
Sorry.
Unless you want to buy everything for us, and then we will just put it in the corner and,
once.
you know, look at it.
Paulus 01.
Oh, not him again.
No, right.
He's a pain in the arse.
My work here is done. The juice of enthusiasm has spurted forth from the shaft of creativeness. Go and make the game. Gave us an idea about game. We were talking about games last week, about games we'd like to make. Respect your view on historical games, but don't agree they are more like Hollywood or novels. So we were saying about historical games can be a bit hardcore and a bit like, yeah, they're more like Hollywood kind of things, or novels, I guess.
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, it's just yours is wrong.
Do you think the current glut of miniature games is a good or bad thing? Also, where do you see wargaming in, say, 5 years' time? By the way, I'm the original and best. A Paulos for the people! As we were saying about Paulus 01. Paulos for the people.
Paulos for the people!
I like that. Paulos for the people it is.
Paulos for the people! Whoop whoop whoop! Ching!
To you.
5 years. Well, how long have we been doing Battlehammer now? We've like about 4 years, isn't it? We've been pissing about like this, avoiding work and responsibilities.
Well, we're on season 4 of Guild Ball, and they've skipped a year, so about 5 years. Must be. Well, one thing I have noticed in the last, specifically 5 years, because we've been doing the channel, so it's kind of more in your head, but also generally over gaming, I don't think it's changed as much as I assumed it would. Yes, there's more games out there. Yes, there's more...
Games are publicised more, aren't they? Because of stuff like...
to internet.
Critical Role and stuff like that. But I had a very interesting conversation the other day with someone who turned around and said, you know, Critical Role, don't watch it, can't stand it.
That's fine.
And because, as we then sort of got talking about it, and we basically, yes, it is literally pretty people rolling dice. All of their characters are the same. Every time they change their characters, they are very, very similar. And it's all fucking scripted. There's nothing spontaneous about it. It's not the way we roleplay. I mean, they're a great way of bringing people into the hobby.
Yeah.
But as role players, they are not role players. They are not what you want to see as a role player. Voice acting does not count as a role player, in my point of view.
I beg to differ.
Well, you're a fucking idiot. Anyway,
yeah, it's tricky. I mean, they have done a lot for the.
Oh yes, they have. I'm not dissing that at all. They have done a huge thing for the hobby. So thank you, guys. However, it's just not for me.
My personal.
Not for me at all. And it's D&D for fuck's sake.
I mean, I watch it. I'm most of the way through the second campaign now. Watch all the first campaign. I have really enjoyed it. It's
what do you want, a medal or just to put it on?
Great to have it on when I'm painting. I think that they come across as genuinely decent people. I mean, which is a big deal.
Yeah, they might well be decent people, but it's just not. It's not what I want to see when I want to see a group of role players.
And it's funny you say about it being scripted. I mean, all role playing is at least partially scripted. Because there's a GM and they create a story, and you know, if not follow along directly.
Have you gone back and watched our Shadowrun shit?
We just made shit up and.
Precisely. How can you script that?
Well, I know.
It's not scripted at all.
I think that yes, they have a certain way of doing things because of their
they have to because of
professional training and obviously they are now producing a show, so they have to make the show happen. So you can't just like, oh, I'm going to wank it up the wall and buy some stuff, which you could do in a home game.
That's the way to do it. That's what. Yeah, but that's proper role playing. That's the sort of thing that people want to see. They want to see shit like that.
Yeah, I agree, but is it?
What, you think sitting there and watching proper voice actors?
No, I just mean that if you, like, of all of the moments that I remember in role-playing games, there's...
The only ones you remember are the ones where you fucked up.
I will never forget standing on the top of the...
Temple of Solomon?
Temple of Solomon, waving my flag. I'll never forget that.
I run the First Crusade as a scenario.
And the rivers ran with blood.
Yeah, didn't it? The streets ran with blood, didn't it just? Anyway, that's going to be a conversation we're never going to have.
Oh, and John's wife. You got her hands cut off and her face ripped up. Was that John's wife or was that Nick's wife? Whose wife was that? Was that my wife? Someone got all mashed. Someone's wife got all mashed up, good and proper, tortured, and their face torn up.
John was
got their hands cut
John was
off.
doing his brother's wife.
And they thought they were dead, and then he came back and they were like, "Oh, I love you. Oh, I'm still great." And they had their hands cut off
Who
and
the
their
hell?
face smashed up.
What sort of bastard GM did that?
You did.
Oh. I don't actually remember that. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, yikes.
A book I read. I can't remember.
It might have been a book you read.
I think it was a book I read.
I am an evil...
but something similar happened.
I am an evil GM.
But I like, for me, I like Critical Role. I think it does a good thing for the hobby. My personal issue, pardon me, is that it's purely D&D.
I mean, yeah, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. It does do a great. It's done a great thing for the hobby.
Yeah.
But it's just.
I hope that people don't then get to D&D and think that's it. That's
because there are way better games out there.
Well, just not even better games, just more games. Like if you were to buy a board game, like if you watched a board game and you went, "Oh, I want to play that game," you wouldn't just ever play that board game. You'd go, "Oh, there's all these other board games. That's cool."
Yeah.
Same with miniatures games. Whereas I think people are looking at D&D and go, "Well, that's D&D. That's role playing."
I think
it's
D&D because everyone knows D&D. You say D&D and everyone goes, "Oh, you play that." But I
get why they do it.
It's an interest. It's the sort of thing that we could sit here and debate all bloody day.
Which is interesting, and I hope that the people at home are interested by our conversation.
I mean,
I hope that they will leave comments down below.
You know, if one of the Critical Role people wants to put a little comment in the bottom, you know, why we feel this way. If you guys or if you guys just want to pop over and play a proper game,
or if you want us to go over there, if you want to pay for our flight to LA, we'll happily join in your game.
We'll pop over and show you how proper role players.
We'll say cunts a lot. Yeah, like
not these voice actors, proper role players. Will turn up and go, "Oi, oi, oi, you cunts! Where's me Savaloy beer?"
I don't think we do Savaloys in America. I think it's just called sausages.
They don't even do proper beer. Let's face it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Next question.
Yeah.
So sorry we're a bit off tangent on that one, but
it's an interesting discussion.
And a lot of people say, "Well, why won't you watch it?" I don't want to watch it because I don't want to be influenced by that kind of thing, and that's why I don't watch anything else on YouTube, because I don't want it to influence the way I act or the way I play a game or the way I present a game. I just purely want everything that I throw out purely to be me and what I think about it.
And in a similar sense, I do watch a lot of YouTube, but I only watch, in a weird way, I only watch stuff that we don't produce. Like I don't watch battle reports, generally. Unless I'm learning the rules. I tend not to watch battle reports. I watch a lot of
porn.
But that's not on YouTube. Like how to play stuff, I watch. Painting stuff, I like to watch. Sarastro is amazeballs. He's one of the best painters. You've seen some of the stuff, haven't you? The Kingdom Death stuff.
Wow!
I think he's just...
The object source lighting was just...
For me anyway, I really like that he's got this great balance of stuff that looks amazing, but also stuff that you could potentially do. Like
if you're a normal human being.
A lot of the painting stuff I see is like, it's the whole joke about like there's a circle, there's another circle, there's a thing, and it's an owl. And you're like, well, actually no, that's just fucking 3 circles. Like actually, from this point to that point, it's difficult. But I think that Sarastro's got it right on the line of like, this is hard, but it's doable, and I really like his stuff. Anyway, I digest. But mostly how to play stuff. I don't watch battle reports.
I just don't find them interesting.
But I mean, and I think that's why, and I don't watch us because we're here. But I think that our audience, and not everyone, but our audience, hopefully appreciate that when we do a battle report, it's not a battle report. And then I moved here, and then I did that, and I got.
It's us fucking about, and there happens to be some miniatures on the table.
We love you for that. Anyway,
next
question. Sorry, I'm blathering on now.
This is what we do.
Ian Torrance. Hello.
Hello. Hello, Ian. How are you? Very good. This looks like a long one.
Narrative versus straight gaming is always a passionate argument. Even more when the company blows up the world your game is set in. Brackets. Still better, GW. Still hurts. Brackets. Fair point.
We fucking hate GW for doing that. 30 years of background. Oh, let's destroy it, mate. Age of Sigmar. You fucking numpties.
Yeah, I mean...
Thing is, you didn't even need to destroy the old world. You could have just said, okay, in the future, this would happen. The world would get destroyed. So this is a what-if scenario. And then gone with that. Yeah. Instead of going, oh, the old world... Fuck off, you're dead.
And the thing is, I mean, Warhammer Fantasy roleplay is coming back as Warhammer Fantasy in the old world, like, because people still love the old world.
Number 4! I'm actually going to fucking put that now on the Amazon wish list, just in case someone wants to buy it for us.
Because I love the old world. It's an old world.
It was horrible, dark, dirty, rank, stank. Loved it.
I don't care about
it. Had everything I wanted in a role-playing game setting. The only thing with Earthdawn that was different is, I think in a way some people could say, well, Earthdawn's like high fantasy. But it's not. It's fantasy. You charge it, you take fantasy, mix it with Cthulhu, and all of a sudden it's not high fantasy.
I think the thing with Earthdawn is healing magic. I think if you add healing magic to any system...
It immediately becomes high fantasy.
In a way, because like, I can get my arm cut off, but if I can grow another arm, it's no big deal. Like, you know, going back to Aristea, they're one of the new in the new expansions, you can cut off someone's arm, and it will just get surgery and grow back because it's set in the future and it's baseball.
Yeah, that's different, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that's when do you? But of course, if you have the same setting and they're out in the wilderness and they can't grow shit back and they don't have slap patches that make like even.
But hold on! Didn't some bloke in a book make some bloke see again and make a person that had a horrible disease normal again?
Yeah, I think it was Dune. Was that Dune? Oh no, he was blind and he could see. Yeah.
You know, whereas that wasn't.
I know. I'm just being silly. Yeah, the Bible is high fantasy.
The Bible is high fantasy. It's a storybook. Wow. Yeah. Look at us doing religion.
I know, right?
We're fucked.
But I think, like, take something like Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is high-end sci-fi if you add all the bells and whistles, and every time you go on a mission, as long as you don't die, you can get regen, as long as you've got the money.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if you play a street-level game, you get shot in the leg.
You're fucked.
You're fucked, because you got shot in the fucking leg and it hurts. You know what I mean?
Oh, Warhammer Fantasy RPG isn't on Amazon. Fucking hell.
It's out yet, is it? I don't think it's out.
No, it's out.
Is it?
Yeah, it's 44 fucking quid.
You know what is out? My peanut. No, it's not out.
Oh, I hope not.
But no, I think high fantasy is.
I am not a fan of high fantasy. As Nick turned around and said, he goes, the problem that we've got with our role-playing group that we do, that you might have seen, the Pirates or the Shadowrun stuff, Shadowrun did not do very well, which has annoyed me.
I want to play it. I don't care if it does well. I want to play the fucking game.
I know, but...
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Nice, but watch our Shadowrun. Go back and watch
I put a link up earlier saying, look, Christ, if you want to see part 3, go back and watch part 2, and then it'll give us the impetus to do it again. Because I want to finish at least that story off. But yeah, the problem with our group, if you've seen the Pirate stuff, we've got a problem player, haven't we? And we all know who it is. There's always a problem player.
Is it a certain baldy-headed, random person who doesn't really know what they're doing? Oh.
That's a GM. Oh, yes. And as Nick turned around and said, well, the problem is, it's because you run dark, nasty stuff. And Chris is such a happy, joyful spud at the best of times. He doesn't get dark, nasty, and understand it. So he will always say, the world's burning down around me, it's all great. How can you work with that?
Yeah.
Even Matt Mercer couldn't work with that.
Yeah, that's true.
So what do I do? You know, what do we do? Do we say, well, you can't come around and play again?
No, just gag him.
Just make him the beer boy.
Yeah.
Just put him in a corner. Just put him in beer.
And that, I think, is like...
Again, that's another whole conversation about role-playing, isn't it? We could do a whole section on role-playing.
You know, talking about going back to Critical Role, in that, like, they're all there for the same reason. I think because they're... And I don't mean in a negative sense, but they're self-created, nonetheless. But they happen to be all voice actors. They all work together. They all understand improvisation. They all understand like character development. They all have these knowledge.
And so do normal role players.
No, but a lot of role players don't, especially new role players, and especially people who maybe play it as a hobby. Like they've decided that this is a thing they want to do, and it's done them really well. But they're all kind of moving towards the same end. They're all going towards the same goal.
But it's
Whereas
that goal.
I think a lot of role-playing groups are like, well, so I really want to play my nerdy thing, and I'm playing the same like character. I always want to play a fire mage because I love fire mages. They're so good. And if I die, I'll play a fire mage. And then
But there's no fire mage in this game.
I'll play a flame mage.
Oh, okay.
Or a Banff wizard, or a torch dude. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can work ways around it, and I think because
I'm a Banff wizard.
Yeah.
I'm a torch dude.
Well, like, there are ways around it,
Yeah.
and I think that in most role-playing groups, you don't have an audience, so there's no reason to do anything. And if you want to fuck about and just buy stuff for a week, you can do that. And if you just want to hang out and chat with your mates because you can't be fucked to play the game that week because you had a bad week, or maybe you just want to kill some shit because you just want a bit of combat and roll some dice and forget about the world, then that's fine.
Yeah.
And if you've got a guy who's a bit annoying most of the time and you call him a cunt and he shuts up for a little bit and that's fine, then that's fine as well.
But he doesn't shut up.
Oh, no.
He does not shut up. So no, if you want us to do a couple of overviews on role-playing games and the way that we...
Yeah, I mean, we're only two people, but it's hard, you know, I have a lot of...
We've had a lot of experience with role-playing
Yeah.
games over the years. Christ, a lot. You know, Critical Role would kill to have people like us on it.
And I think role-playing is... Role-playing is more about...
It's a life! It's a way of life, not a game!
Well, kind of, yeah. Because in a board game, you can be into board games and you can have knowledge about board games.
And you can close the board game at the end of the day.
Put it away, but a role-playing game, I think, is
You will
more...
still sit there and talk about afterwards.
Yeah, and it's more... Not abstract, but there's more kind of other stuff you can bring into it. So there's, like, character development. There's all these kind of other things.
Background, stories. It's,
yeah. It's all...
The minute you can sit there and play a game where you are playing a character and you spend an entire session just talking about a story that didn't even happen in real life, but it's part of the game's setting. You know, like, oh, well, my father, he worked fields, and you just we did a whole session once in Earthdawn where it was Nick, his orc, and it was her birthday. We spent an entire session on his name day, which is their birthday, and it was just a party. I'll tell you what, that's one of the hardest sessions I've had to run.
Really?
Purely because it's it's just
fly,
random party stuff. Yeah, I mean, he ended up in the rafters with 2 orc girls.
Yeah, loved it. And then even you bring like real knowledge. Like I wasn't a chili at that point. I wasn't a guy who liked spicy food like in real life. I know I like spicy food now, but at the time I didn't. And it was like have these orc chilies, these weird orc chilies.
Oh, the ghost chili.
Oh, I'll drink loads of beer. Oh God, I'll drink loads of beer. Oh, that's not going to help because it out of game. I didn't know at the time that milk helps you with chilies, but other people in the world did know that, and it was a really interesting kind of like. I look back on it and go, "Wow, that's stuff I didn't know in real life that actually affected my role-playing character."
And I think every time we do a role-playing game, is we try to bring in just one, just even if it's a tiny nugget of something that.
What's his name? Was he Big Al?
Who?
My Chechenian character. Was he Al?
Oh, he was fucking horrible, the murderous.
I'll never forget him.
That's another game.
He's in there now. He's locked.
If you ever want to know about the nastier games we've run, just ask us about the Chechenian games.
Yeah, but not on this. Yeah, like in person, we can't talk about it online. It's dark.
Oh, it was dark and it was fucking horrible. Very horrible. Right, have we got anything nice and happy to end with?
When you have a literal bit of paper with all of your torture bags on it, that's a game.
Yeah, and that's right. This is bag 1.
That's my personal
this is
bag.
This is what I've got on me at all times.
Bag, and that's in the van. And then I had on me a bag which I carried around, stuff in the van, and then stuff in the cellar. And they were all like properly listed, working out what I'd do with all of them.
It was horrible because at one point we spent like an hour and a half in real game time of this guy. They'd handcuffed, they'd got him naked. They were in the back of like a Bedford van kind of thing. They'd handcuffed him to the top bits of the van, stripped him naked, and then all the other characters had gone, right, we're leaving. So they all left, and it was just him and me. I'm the GM, and he's like, starts rolling out all of his tools, and I'm as the poor bloke. I spent that entire session just screaming. The things you were doing was horrible.
One of the nicest things I remember, that's not probably genital related, because there was some pretty nasty genital. I did explode someone's balls with a hammer at one point.
Oh God, that was horrible.
But my favourite one was getting a knife into the bottom of someone's foot, making a hole, getting a pair of needle nose pliers, ram them in the hole, grabbing one of the metatarsals, I think they're called, and just... That was particularly unpleasant. That was nasty. That was one of my favourites. I was proud of that.
I think my balls have just rolled up into my stomach.
And one of my actual favourite in-game character bits, was when... So Nick's character, Nick, you may have seen him in our role-playing games. He was teacher, and he was like the guy who was like, I'm gonna drag you back from the brink. We're gonna have a nice time. Because my character's been like mentally scarred, blah blah blah. He was horrible. He was done. He was just a shell of a man.
It was horrible. His backstory was fucking horrible.
Really nasty. And he took me to a park and said, right, let's just sit here
the flower
and chill out and look at some flowers. And we had a really nice time. And I was sat in there and we were like doing some in-character stuff. And we were talking and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to leave you here. You just stay here. You enjoy yourself. You just, maybe you've... And like a good hour of just chat between me and him of like, find yourself. And I was
you
like,
thought,
okay.
How is that relevant in the game?
Oh, no, it was amazing.
But it was, because the next firefight or something happened in the bar, because they'd taken over a bar in Chicago, and he was about to flip out and really seriously hurt this NPC. And Nick's just walked past him, and as he's walked past him, just gone, remember the flower?
Yeah.
And he's just gone...
It just helped me chill out. But...
Fucking amazing role-playing. When my team worked as role-players...
and I was sat on the bench, just staring for a little while, and then I kind of left it, and then they went and did some other RPG stuff, and I was kind of still there, not involved in the thing, and I said, oh, by the way, when I'm going back, I'm going to head to the hardware store, and they buy this, 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 and this. And it was just like,
it's horrible! Oh, no.
It was just such an innocuous thing, but yet so, in that moment, it was so powerful. I think role-playing, when it's like that, for me anyway, it's hard to kind of... And that's, I think, why a lot of people don't... People might not like something like Critical Role, or our role-playing, because role-playing is a personal experience. You're in it. If you're not in it,
what's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah, I can understand that.
I spent
you spend all
6 weeks having Critical Role on in the background just because I knew it was popular, and I thought, oh, I actually kind of like some of it. And then it's only after getting into it and like, oh, okay. And it's the same with any story or anything. Like, it's connecting with those people, it's connecting with that story. And I think a lot of people, whether it could be Critical Role or any other role playing, whether it be our role playing or anyone else's role playing is a really personal thing. If you're involved and you're connected to the story, then you're involved and that's it. You're in.
Yeah,
But if you're not into it, and like we're playing on Tuesday night, we've been playing Pathfinder, and I just did a character and wasn't really like involved. I just went, oh, I'd be a fighter, and now I'm like, oh, I don't really care. And yet other games, it could be the same system with a different character. But if I've like, oh, actually, I've got this little nugget and that little nugget, and suddenly I'm in, and I'm...
Well, you're in your robot, aren't you?
Oh, Starfinder. Pathfinder, Starfinder, they're basically the same thing in the past or the future.
D&D.
And D&D 0.3 or whatever, and yet Pathfinder don't really care, just a fighter. Starfinder, I am fucking shoulder in.
But you're just a robot.
I think you'll find I'm an android. MET .2/ampersand is not a robot. He is an android, and he doesn't appreciate being looked down on. He has sentience. He is capable of magic, and therefore has a soul.
You're a robot.
While I appreciate your view,
Beep beep boop. Beep beep boop 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 beep.
if you are going to speak in binary, at least do it correctly.
Sorry. 00110011100111001110.
How very dare you!
I said good day, sir.
And things like only picking combat spells. So he's a technomancer. Only pick combat spells up to about 5th level because, like, why would I need combat spells? And it's only since he nearly died in a combat, and he's like,
that now you want combat spells.
Maybe this whole combat thing. I didn't appreciate how much violence there would be floating around in the universe. I merely meant to be an archaeologist of some kind.
000111011001110011110.
I need to pee again. Oh.
Any more questions?
Yes, fucking
What
loads.
more?
Yeah.
Fuck me, we've been going 7.5 hours.
Yeah, we've been blathering a lot. So this is still Ian Torrance. So we talked about GW.
Yep.
On the Guild Ball one, spoilers. It would only work if each death led to a new player coming into the rota for the affected guild. So you still have the same number of players to choose from as everyone else. That's a good point. That would be one way of doing it. So if someone dies...
Fuck's sake, you don't need
Bring a
12
new guy
players.
in.
You only bring 6 on a fucking pitch. Who cares?
But as for painters and hobbyists, you need to know that you'll be given a decent run out of a model. So no Thresher pre-release death. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Or buying grayscales, only have them die that season. That is a good point.
Yeah, but these days you don't buy the single figure, do you? You buy the entire fucking team in a box, you know. I'll tell you, I wish I could have had those resin spooks, the latest box.
Yeah.
I would have loved that, but I'm not buying a third team.
Are they not releasing them as normal releases then? They're only releasing them as Indiegogos or whatever?
No, they're not. They're released. That's what they're going to be from now on. The resin.
Okay.
That's the way it is. Because they're beautiful models. I mean, like I said, I love the Cosset in it. I love the Obulus in it. That's all right. And anyone going to SteamCon this year, UK, remember that you're going to get a free Obulus.
Yeah, baby.
I can tell you a very good home for a free Obulus. Me. Yeah, me. You bar stewards. Right, let's have a little look at the porn on his phone, shall we? Right, so Alex, guys, are you guys going to be at SteamCon this year? And thoughts on navigators? Will you be picking them up? Well, no one will be, will they? Nope. We will not be at SteamCon this year, unfortunately. Lots of personal reasons, because I'm still mental. Possibly next year, maybe, depending on the way the game rolls. Navigators... I can't hear what you're saying because you're weeing. But let's face it, they're just another bloody fish team, aren't they? But they're really janky. How do I feel about fish having even more jank? Oh yeah, that's how I feel. I don't know. Some of the sculpts are nice, but not for me. I'm only waiting for 2 minor teams now. I'm waiting for the minors for my engineers. And oi, fuck nut. What's the minor guild for the brewers? Entertainers, you dumb shit. And that one. Other than that, weren't they saying there's going to be like one more proper guild?
Cooks for the butchers?
No, a proper guild.
I don't think there is. I
thought I heard rumour that there's going to be one more proper guild coming.
Oh, if there is, I don't know. I don't remember.
Nor do I.
I think entertainers are brewers, I think they said.
Entertainers are brewers.
Which is...
probably you and me in there somewhere.
Annoying, because I kind of didn't want it to be brewers. But I can see why they are.
Yeah, it's going to be you and me in there, and it's got to be, you know,
Obviously.
entertaining, piss heads.
Navigators, up until...
Can I have a pee now?
Yeah.
Good.
Up until recently, I was really looking forward to them. But actually, with Season 4...
Go back to the old teams.
I'm really enjoying playing the Alchemists and stuff like that, so I don't feel the need to buy a new team.
It's bad when I enjoy playing against a team.
Yeah. And I think neither of us played Fish so we don't feel the need to pick up the minor team for them. So we'll probably get them at some point, but there's no eagerness for them particularly. I think that the issue some teams have is if they only do one thing really well, then what else are you going to do? You know, like navigators, you've got bonuses to this, bonuses to that, and they're based on the fish, or they're the mining guild for the fish, so scoring will obviously be a big deal. But like, if you only do scoring, then you're missing potentially 3/4 of the game. You know, you've got no combat. Like butchers do combat, but you're still trying to get that goal with brisket, and that's always fun. Like, and alchemists do conditioned stuff, but they also try to score, and they also do a bit of this and a bit of that. So it kind of keeps it interesting. I think if you focus too hard on one aspect of the game, it can become not easy, but kind of like a certain amount of like, oh, I'll just do that. You know, I like when you can do more than one thing in a game, so that way, like, yeah, I can play the alchemist like this, or I can put this guy and that guy, and then I can play him like that. Oh, that's interesting. Just my tuppence.
Give it to your fucking self.
Did you hack my phone?
No.
No, because I told you my very easy password.
I don't know your password, mate. It was still on when I picked it
Well,
up.
that's cool. You know it anyway.
I don't.
Yeah. So next one, Alex Kaiser. You guys going to be at Steam? Oh no, that was that. Biff Blastoff, which is a great name, by the way.
Biff Blastoff?
Biff Blastoff. That is an awesome name.
Oh, that's awesome.
Interesting views. Really like your channel. Thank you, Biff. Or Mr. Blastoff.
Mr. Blastoff. Mr. Blastoff.
That is a great.
That's a cracking name.
That's a cracking name.
Mr. Blastoff. I love that.
I like that. And Graham Disson, cheers for the shout out, guys. Hope you like the generated kits. Yes, we do.
We did. Thank you very much.
In upcoming Wexodus videos.
As everything else is.
Yeah. And if you've got any more over there?
No, I think I've done all of our ones.
So 3 days later.
3 days later, we finally finished. Woohoo! Woo! Ian Torrance again. How's Season 4... This is literally 15 minutes ago. How's Season 4 release reinvigorating Guild Ball for you? Straw, have you got the morts out yet? Oh, hello. Loving Season 4.
Yeah,
really happy with it. Really want to play my morts again.
I do not want to play against them because they're fucking dicks.
But I'm really enjoying the Hunters, Brewers and Engineers. Wow. Wow, first world problems. I don't know if the spooks have changed enough for me to actually start winning or getting points with them, should I say.
I'd be interested to see your take on new Scalpel, because she's different enough, I think.
Yeah, she is very different, but who do I bring in with her? I'm still saying Hemlock's got to go in there. I think Hemlock is a pretty good bet in that. Costs, I'll tell you what, I want a full girl team. That's what I want.
Can you do that on the spooks?
No, I'm one short. You can have Scalpel, you can have Filage, Cosset, Hemlock. We'll say the bird's a girl.
Then rats, they're girls.
No, you can't, you got the bird. Silence! He wears a skirt. And he's a fucking girl, let's face it. I don't know. I want to play my spooks again because they are my first love, obviously. But see, I think in a way it was a great choice for me to start with because I loved the look of the spooks, and that's what drew me into them at the start of Guild Ball. But they were really, really hard to play, and I think in a way that made me a better player than what I could be because you're having to fucking think. Yeah. These days, if I play Brewers, I'm like, yeah, don't need to think, just hit it and dodge about a bit and go, whoa. But
yeah, the Morticians aren't a very forgiving team.
Christ, no. But then again, the Farmers and the Hunters were the same, weren't they, originally? They were just like, oh shit, I've just missed doing that with my Hunters. Now it all falls apart.
Yeah.
Cena.
It's a fucking bear.
I love that bear. 7 points momentous damage. Thank you very much.
It's a fucking bear.
It'd be interesting to see how if I can put a couple of the falconers into the hunters to see how that works.
Remember who Matagi and someone?
It's
maybe?
Matagi and someone else from the falconers.
Not Minerva because she's the captain.
No, that's not Minerva. It's
not Icarus because he's wing boy. One of the others.
Oh, I'm fucked if I know.
One of them.
One of them. Stuff happens. So yeah, all good.
Any more?
No, I think we're clear.
Okay.
Think we're clear.
What else have we got to talk about?
There isn't. What have we got coming up? We've got everything coming up. We have Kill Team, Star Wars Legion, Firefly Adventures. We have
we've got to play that.
Oh, Exodus, Deep Impact, Deep Madness.
No, we should play Deep Impact. We should be Morgan Freeman hiding in a bunker, trying not to get blown up by a meteor falling from the sky, and the little guy on the bike. I forget who it was.
I don't find that very exciting. We have got more Dystopian Wars. Twisted Moonstone. We've got our WWX faction breakdown. We've got Build Along with S&P. Once we get our once we get some more buildings sent to us,
sex,
baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that maybe. Let's talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex. Oh God, that was weird. Yeah, I'm not proud of that. Anyway,
it's the way we both knew the words.
I know, right? People of a certain age.
We have got
stuff.
Literally
all of the stuff.
Everything coming at you again.
Coming at you, Cleopatra.
Someone's asked if we could do firstly, straw painting figures. I'm like, you can fuck off. Yeah, but you cracked them out really quickly. You want to see your painting technique for blasting out your figures. Fine, that'll be a 10-minute video. But you're going to get it now. We still want to see more of your things being painted. We're going to do a build along. So when Wexter sends us some more buildings, we're going to do a session where we just sit there and we'll just glue them together, whilst probably having a beer or three. So that could get interesting.
Mumble 0.5 kind of thing.
Yeah, we're also going to do a that was it. Was it Archer again? Grubby bugger that said, right, can you just show us how you put your battlefields together for when you play your games, because they are beautiful. Yeah, we can do that. I don't see how you're going to find that exciting or entertaining, but we will show you how we put our battlefields together. And of course, as usual, if there's anything else that you guys want to know about us, Battlehammer, or anything, or questions, what you'd like to see us play, what kind of pants we like to wear, anything like.
Get involved in our monthly discussion by leaving a comment.
Leave it down below.
Down below.
Or get in touch via all the other mediums of social media. But if you want your question definitely answered, stick it below the mumble that you're.
It makes it easier to find.
That's purely all, isn't it?
We are
stupid.
Well, the problem is if you say like, "Oh, I want to ask you a thing next month," and it goes on Facebook and then it gets lost,
then we forget about it because it's like miles away.
Because Facebook. But if you leave a thing in the crotch box down below, we will. All of this stuff came from last month's YouTube channels. So yeah, thank you for that. So as usual, if you want to help the channel out because we're poor, useless, and crap. Is nothing else? Is that it? I'm just double checking. There's nothing else.
Oh no, that's why we have to, when you see us sitting there and doing this, that's because we're looking at all the boxes and
all
trying to work out.
And usually that will spark a thing in your brain.
Try to work out if we're all. Has Chris got Village Attacks yet? Has that turned up yet?
I don't know.
Fucking useless spud. So yeah, definitely more Star Wars Legion and Star Wars everything.
Well, now we've got Han Solo and Boba Fett.
So, remember, what you can do is up there is the link to our Patreon page. Now, what you get there is just for $1 solitary a month, $1
a month, you get one video a month for the moment. There may be more in the future.
But you can go back and watch the entire back catalogue of Patreon videos.
And watch me get fatter by the day.
By the minute. And none of those videos will appear on the normal channel.
Correct.
I think only one of them did because it was we put it onto Patreon a week early, but it was going on general release. But you will only get those videos on Patreon.
Yeah,
that's what we're like.
We wanted to make sure that it was something that the patrons had because they're patrons and they deserve something extra. But we didn't want it to be so much that it felt like you were behind a paywall or anything like that. So
No.
one video a month, we don't think that's inappropriate.
And if
you've got any feedback, let us know in the comments down below.
yeah, please
It's
do.
always interesting.
Yeah, we'll ignore it. So for $1 you get that, and for $5 you get the joyous ability to call yourself a Battlehammer booze hound.
Oh, there was a lot of that, by the way.
Yeah, that's not surprising. So you don't get anything extra out of it, but it's just
Cock in the bum.
extra bit of money for us. Thank you.
We should probably get some badges or something done.
We should do.
For Battlehammer Booze Hound.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. That's something we should look into. I think we're running out of wristbands rapidly, and that's like £200 for all of them. Money. So that's that. So you can become a Battlehammer Booze Hound. Of course, you can donate more if you wish. You can set up your monthly thing to do more. Some people do. List them all.
Yay.
So,
$1 million a month.
No, just $1 million full stop. We don't need it a month.
No, that'd be
That'd
fine.
be just greedy.
It would be greedy. Just once is fine.
So then, there's
also, you can find our Amazon wish list, which is in the crotch box down below. There's stuff on there you can buy us if you don't want to necessarily, become a PayPal person or a Patreon person. You can just go, hey guys.
Go through the list and go, I'm going to buy them that. Click.
Yep.
It
Some
turns
stuff we want / need for the channel. Some of its games. I mean, there's stuff all the way from some
cactus.
Some cacti.
For
Well,
the scenery.
sexuals.
Just scenery.
All the way up to like Gloomhaven and shit. So.
And we've now got the new thingy that we need. The
Massive dildo. Oh,
extension
plugs.
lead.
Yeah,
Fuck it,
extension lead.
I've got all these. When you have all these lights and cameras and stuff, it's amazing the amount of extension leads you need. And these days, you try walking around the table, you're falling arse over tit.
Yeah. I like tits.
I like tits.
But most importantly,
don't
you
forget.
don't do any of that. The important thing is, don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked it, want to subscribe. If you don't like it, don't want to subscribe, you don't have to like and subscribe, but we'll like if you liked and subscribed. And until next time, stay hammered. Stay hammered. Don't Hadoken, because that's bad.
You'll blow people up.